Welcome to the channel guys. In this video we will know about Hinata's battle with Rimuru. This video may contain spoilers so watch out. Subscribe the channel for more web novel chapters. So, now let's start the video. Sakaguchi Hinata thought herself fortunate to have been able to meet Izawa Shizu. Though the time they spent together was truly short, only to Shizu was Hinata able to truly open up her heart. A single month. In that short time, she had stolen all her skills and left her. She was afraid to be rejected, as her theft ability was terrifying. Moreover, we're bothering Shizu-san. The association is not so rich as to support people who don't work. So would you like to work together with me? Said a boy from her world. She understood that he was simply trying to recruit her, but his words, that they were being a bother, deeply hurt her. That's when Hinata decided to leave. When she was setting off, these were the boy's parting words: "We'll definitely meet again. When we do, help me." She took those words literally. Lacking in information, Hinata opened her heart up to the boy just because he was a fellow world traveler. So she nodded at his words without any hesitation, and set off on a journey. A world filled with despair, where life could be taken easily, such a world. She obtained power in order to survive. A country she was staying in got attacked by a disaster-class monster, leaving many people dead. There were plenty people fighting to protect the children. The adults would not run away, but would desperately attempt to shield their children. Even though she had thought they would run away without a second thought trying to save themselves. Those fighting were called the Knights Templar, Holy Knights. They would at times be passing through this city on patrol, protecting the people and enforcing justice. That's where I want to live, Hinata felt. And thus without a doubt. 10 years had passed. Though Hinata did not believe in God, she had reached one of the highest posts in the church. An ironic tale perhaps, but she was performing the sacred duty of protecting the lives of people and the citizens of the Holy Empire of Ruberian. Hinata did not doubt anything, and believed this to be her justice. Live for others, even at the cost of your own life. If you did so, then everyone could be happy. Similarly, the monsters must be destroyed. Since every single time, it was the monsters that threatened the people's happy lives. Though the capital was protected by a barrier, the same was not true for the cities and villages in the region. The patrolling knights decreased the number of casualties while fighting off daily onslaught of monsters. Unlike the monsters of Jura Forest region, these had no other food source. A desolate wasteland spread to the west. A result of a battle between two demon lord-like beings. This wasteland has many areas of dense miasma from which monsters spawn. Thus, the knights embody the people's hope itself. There have been times when the knights have been deceived and killed by monsters. Due to these occurrences, the church decreed dealing with a monster was strictly forbidden. This creed conveyed the many hundred-year-long wisdom of the knights who had survived while protecting people. And at some point, Hinata had decided that people's happiness was directly connected to this creed. Though she did not originally believe the creed, she was won over by its logic. And, at some point, she decided that protecting the creed was her justice, a truly ironic tale. The days spent fighting the monsters. When was it that she found this routine boring? The day she became squad captain and started drafting plans, the number of casualties greatly decreased. That was thanks to her monster spawn point prediction and casualty prediction. Methods of communication, and patrol timing. Thus people began to see the results of her optimization of the system. This is why the knights have so much faith in Hinata, she thought. This is why she absolutely could not violate the creed. She has the responsibility, the mission to protect the people. Having received the trust of her subordinates, she created a place to return to. Even Nicholas claimed to love her. In the end, Hinata was simply afraid. Even though she tried not to get attached to anything, she was still afraid of losing everything. People could live happily only under complete control. Hinata so believed. And the existence of the controlled society Ruberius only proved her point. That's how it was supposed to be. Which is why, like always, she only needed to defeat monsters, that is all. A simple point. But that's how it was. Protecting the creed was her reason to exist, her justice. Such was her warped heart that never knew parental love. This belief was the only thing that supported her heart. To protect that belief, she decided to fight. And, now, things were so bad, she wanted to laugh. But as a result, she made a breakthrough. She simply stopped worrying, stopped thinking. Was she right? Was she wrong? Not even that mattered anymore. She could not see the amount of power of the enemy before her even with mathematician skill. An enemy clearly above her. Worlds apart from his previous strength. She could only lament having let him escape last time. Her tedious days would now come to an end. Fighting a losing battle is a fool's action. Even so, Hinata was excited. Am I wrong? In that case, prove it, Demon Lord Rimuru. She drew the large sword, Dragon Slayer, from its scabbard to oppose the Demon Lord. A thin smile appeared on her face. And with her heart elated, sword pointing at Rimuru, she advanced. I again considered my fight with her. This girl leaves no openings. Thanks to thought acceleration, I am currently able to perfectly receive her hits. After a brief exchange, though my attacks don't even scratch her, hers seem to be able to scratch me. Sorry for the interruption. As most of you guys know, my other channel got demonetized, so I want to monetize this one fast. So please help me reach 1K subscriber. Please guys, do subscribe the channel. Not that they don't though, not that I can be proud of that. Which is why, we're currently trying to exploit an opportunity or a mistake made by the other, but none had presented itself yet. Hinata is a real beast to be able to fight me like this even after I awakened as a demon lord and have Raphael's support. Frankly, I had expected myself to overwhelm her. She seems to be able to easily read my sword, and blocks it without fail. And responds with accurate slashes. Last time, I was truly not a threat. Moreover, she didn't even go all out last time. While lightly blocking her attacks, I observe Hinata. A faint smile on her lips, she is looking straight at me. But her eyes don't reflect our movement. Her eyes are moving like sensors trying to observe the entire area around us. Her posture does not waver, she is able to keep up a natural pose ready to counter any attack. Her movements don't depend on strength and seem to originate from nowhere. I am not sure how she is able to so easily predict my attacks, but it's clear that she knows. Whereas when I see her attack, I just desperately try to evade it. Of course, I'm the one with lots of wasted movement. Because I have enough power to overwhelm her, I can dodge without being hit. Our proficiency levels cannot be compared. Hinata is far higher. Even so, she does not let her guard down. At this point, all her tricks and skills have been rendered meaningless, so she fights me with a sword clad in her fighting spirit. That spirit being of the holy affinity, I will probably be hurt if I get hit by that. According to Raphael, the special ability of that sword will let it cut through even my barrier. Well, I guess depending on the reliable sword rather than on gaudy skills is just what I would expect from Hinata. In reality, other than me, only Hikuro could defend against her attacks. But Hikuro would not be able to win by relying on magic attacks. Whereas Hinata has decided that magic attacks would not be effective against me, hence decided not to use them. She is a fighting genius. Even if I send out my clone to fight, she will probably cut it down in a second. One of the only weaknesses of ultimate skills is that only the true body can use them. In other words, even I were to project a copy or create a clone, while I could use the skills by moving my consciousness to them, multiple, me, cannot. I cannot leave ultimate skills to clones. The same is true for unique skills, although the copy does possess some of the skills of the true body, these are not perfectly copied. Soe has gotten good at this and can bestow only the useful skills to his clones. At a time like this, where I am fighting with the support from an ultimate skill, a cheap clone will quickly be hit and vanish. It would be great if a clone could create an opportunity for me to strike at her, but if that backfires, I'll die from embarrassment. A simple plan would be to focus on Hinata's endurance. I mean, I never tire. Even if neither one of us lands a hit, time still passes. But it seems like the surrounding battles have finished. Some people are lying down, others are sitting on the ground, all seem to be exhausted and unable to move. But their eyes are glued to our battle. They certainly cannot follow our attacks, so are they just trying to ascertain the result? Anyways, I don't have the time to be looking around. I have to resist Hinata with all my strength. The land is filled with the sound of our clashes. The sword Hinata held, the one as large as she is, had an edge that looked like as if it was made of blue crystal. It was a beautiful sword. As if not feeling its weight, with a speed unimaginable for its size, Hinata wielded it freely. She's probably depending on some skill for that, but it's still marvelous swordplay. And her expression, now, it is that of an innocent girl, a smile on her face. Not the cold sneer that she carried before. She is simply swinging her sword. Without thinking about anything else, focused on the battle. A genius, huh? If I think about it, I was fortunate. I've had my share of troubles, but after being born as a monster, I made some friends and had lots of fun. What about Hinata? According to what Shizu-san had said, after obtaining all her skills in a single month, Hinata had left. I hadn't noticed it before, but there's something strange about this. Would Shizu-san really allow Hinata to go off on her own? That's a point I find strange. And that it truly is. A power too strong for a girl with a mind of someone who was going through puberty or just finished. Is it because I am an adult that I noticed it? Aside from Hinata as she is now, in that unbalanced state she was given a dominance type skill. Could you possibly allow her to leave? Considering this suspicion, and using other information I had gathered, I had Raphael run an analysis. The result was a truly questionable possibility. That is, Hinata's thought process has been restricted. That could only have been possibly in the first months of coming to this world. Though I haven't obtained all of Shizu-san's memories, the original Hinata was rather meek. To suddenly decide to go on a journey after a single month. Moreover, considering the presence of one more person by Shizu-san's and Hinata's side. Hey, why did you decide to leave Shizu-san's place? I asked as if catching my breath during our sword fight. I have gotten used to her timing. Blocking her attacks is not much of a challenge now. Seems like I had lots of room for improvement. In comparison, Hinata is not struggling, but sweat had appeared on her face. An obvious result considering that she is fighting with all her strength. Moreover, why do you ask so now? I don't want to remember, but let's see. 'Cause I didn't want to be a bother, I think. She honestly replied. I didn't expect an answer, thinking she was going to just ignore the question, so I'm surprised. But when I heard the response, I felt pain in my heart. Pain in my heart. What a strange sensation. Thinking that it's not a problem even if I were to ignore the response, I put more strength into my sword. Our clashes now created shockwaves. Shizu-san had never thought you a bother though. Yes. I never thought so. She increased the sharpness of her attacks. Seems like she has yet to go all out. Let's wait and see. While desperately blocking the sword and countering, but, she was worried. That she made you lonely. Right. I was worried. But, there was someone else I had to worry more about, eh? I wasn't just hearing things a second ago, right? Hearing Shizu-san's voice. Ha. Don't say it like you know. What could someone like you understand? My words angered the calm Hinata. She seems very mad. Faster than I could think about the reason, you let your guard down, it's my win. Melting slash. The speed of her swings again accelerated, becoming light itself. That sword, wrapped in various types of magic, announcement. Impossible to block. Impossible to evade. Damn. That can actually kill me. First time I heard Raphael's worried voice. And, accelerating my thoughts to 10 million times the norm, I could only slowly watch as the sword approached me. That's it for this video. Subscribe the channel for more web novel chapters. Meet you on next video.